Hey there, friends, and welcome back. Now, before you do anything else today, I need you to hear this, because if you have money sitting in a bank right now, and I mean any bank, this new rule affects you directly. The government just rolled out a brand new $2,000 banking rule, and honestly, most seniors have no idea it even exists. And that's exactly why I'm here, because you deserve to know what's happening with your hard-earned money. Think about it. You've spent decades working, saving, and being responsible. The last thing you need is a surprise rule catching you off guard and messing with your finances. This new rule is already changing how banks handle your deposits, your withdrawals, and even how they report your account activity. And some of it could actually work in your favor if you know how to use it. So today, I'm breaking it all down in plain, simple English. No confusing banker talk, I promise. Stick with me through this video and you'll walk away knowing exactly what to do to protect yourself. And hey, if you find this helpful, go ahead and hit that like button right now. It really means the world. Let's get into it. Here's your full 1,500-word video body script. So let's start from the very beginning because I want to make sure you have the full picture here. And trust me, once you understand what's actually going on, you're going to be really glad you kept watching. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is this $2,000 bank rule? Where did it come from? And why are so many people just now finding out about it? Those are great questions, and I'm going to answer every single one of them. But first, I want you to take a Discover More AI Prompt Libraries, TV and video equipment, video editing software breath, because this isn't something to panic about, it's something to understand. And that's exactly what we're going to do together. Here's a little background for you. For years, decades actually, banks in the United States have been required to report certain financial transactions to the federal government. This has been the law since the 1970s, and for the most part, it never really affected everyday people like you and me. It was mostly aimed at catching criminals moving around large amounts of cash, so if you were just depositing your Social Security check or paying your bills, nobody was paying much attention. You were living your life, and that was that. But here's where things start to get interesting, and where this new $2,000 rule enters the picture. Over the past couple of years, there's been a huge push from the federal government to get banks to share more information, more details, more reporting, and one of the biggest proposals, one that's been making waves across the country, involves monitoring bank accounts where money is moving in or out in amounts as low as $2,000. Now, whether that's your monthly pension coming in, a payment you made to your grandchild, or even just moving money between your own accounts, it could potentially fall under this new level of scrutiny. I know that might sound a little unsettling at first, and honestly, when I first heard about it, I had to sit down and really dig into the details because I didn't want to come to you with half a story. You deserve the whole truth explained in a way that actually makes sense. So, let me paint you a picture. Imagine your neighbor, Dorothy. Dorothy is 71 years old. She's sharp as a tack, lives alone, and manages her own finances just like she always has. Every month, her Social Security check gets deposited. She pays her utility bills, buys her groceries, and every now and then she sends a little money to her daughter across the state. Normal stuff. Completely normal life. Now, under the old system, Dorothy's bank wasn't really looking too closely at those small, regular transactions. But under this new reporting framework, her bank would be required to flag and share much more detailed information about her account activity, even if she's done absolutely nothing wrong. And here's the thing. Dorothy doesn't know this is happening. She has no idea her bank is now watching those transactions more closely than ever before. That's the part that gets me. It's not about whether you've done anything wrong, because of course you haven't. It's about the fact that information about your money is being shared more broadly, and you have a right to know that. Now let me be very clear about something, because I don't want you walking away from this video feeling worried or scared. This rule does not mean the government is trying to take your money. It does not mean you're in trouble. What it does mean is that the financial system around you is changing. And the more you understand those changes, the better you can protect yourself and your family. And that protection, it's easier than you might think. One of the most important things you can do right now is simply stay aware. I know that sounds almost too simple, but you'd be amazed how many people, good, hardworking, responsible people, just leave their money on autopilot and never think about it. They trust their bank, set up their direct deposits, and figure everything will sort itself out. And most of the time, it does. But in a changing financial landscape, staying informed is one of the most powerful tools you have. Here's something else I want you to think about. This new rule doesn't just affect people with a lot of money. In fact, it's designed specifically around smaller dollar amounts, like that $2,000 threshold we talked about. So this isn't just a rich person's problem. This touches everyday Americans, and that includes a whole lot of seniors living on fixed incomes. People just like you. People who have done everything right their whole lives and just want their money to be safe and sound. Now, here's something I haven't told you yet, and this is the part a lot of people miss completely. There are actually some aspects of this new rule that could work in your favor. Yes, really. I'm not just saying that to make you feel better. When banks are required to maintain more detailed records and reporting, it also means there's a stronger paper trail protecting you if someone ever tries to commit fraud on your account. And sadly, seniors are targeted by financial scammers more than any other age group, and the detailed record keeping could actually be your best defense. Think about that for a moment. The same system that feels a little invasive on the surface could also be the thing that helps catch a scammer before they drain your account. It's a double-edged sword, and knowing which edge works for you is everything. Let me tell you about another real situation. A gentleman named Frank, 68 years old, retired electrician, found out someone had been slowly siphoning money from his checking account. Small amounts, $20 here, $40 there. The kind of thing that's easy to miss if you're not watching closely. But because his bank had enhanced monitoring in place, those unusual patterns were flagged early. Frank got his money back. And he told me if his bank hadn't been paying attention, he might never have noticed until it was too late. That story gives me chills every time because it's a reminder that knowledge really is power. And that's why I wanted to make this video specifically for you. Now, I also want to address something you might be wondering about. What happens if you regularly move money around in amounts close to that $2,000 mark? Maybe you help a grandchild with rent. Maybe you transfer money to a joint account with your spouse. Maybe you just like keeping your savings in a separate account from your checking. Are you going to suddenly find yourself in hot water? Absolutely not. Normal everyday financial activity is not a red flag. The system is looking for patterns that suggest something unusual, not grandparents being generous or retirees managing their budgets carefully. But, and this is important, it is a good idea to keep simple records of any regular transfers you make. Just a little notebook or even a note on your phone. Write down the date, the amount, and who it went to. Nothing complicated, just a simple paper trail that shows your transactions are exactly what they appear to be. Honest, routine, above board. That kind of documentation gives you peace of mind. And if you ever need to explain a transaction to your bank, you've already got the answer ready. And speaking of peace of mind, let's talk about something that doesn't get discussed nearly enough, the emotional weight of all of this. Because let's be honest, money stuff is stressful. Especially when rules change and the news makes everything sound alarming. Especially when you've spent your whole life being careful and responsible and now you feel like the goalposts are moving on you. If that's how you're feeling right now, I want you to know that feeling makes complete sense and you are absolutely not alone in it. Millions of seniors across the country are in the exact same boat, trying to make sense of a financial system that keeps evolving. But here's what I've learned from talking to so many people in your position. The ones who come out ahead are the ones who stay curious, who ask questions, who don't just throw up their hands and say, I don't understand this stuff. Because you can understand it. And today, you're already proving that. There's still one more piece of this puzzle that we haven't talked about yet. And honestly, it might be the most important part of all. It's about what you can actually do right now today to make sure you're in the best possible position going forward. Because knowing the rule is one thing, but knowing how to respond to it, that's where real confidence comes from. And that's exactly where we're headed next. And here we are, friends. We've covered a lot of ground together today. And I just want to say I am so proud of you for sticking with me all the way through. Seriously, a lot of people would have clicked away, but not you. And that tells me something important about you. You care about your financial future. You care about protecting what you've worked so hard to build. And that matters more than you know. So, let's bring everything together. Let's make sure you're walking away from this video not just informed, but genuinely confident. Because that's the whole point of why we're here. Here's what we learned today. A brand new $2,000 banking rule is changing the way banks monitor, track, and report your financial activity. It doesn't matter if you've done everything right your whole life, and I know you have. This rule affects everyday Americans across the board. Seniors on fixed incomes, retirees managing modest savings, people just like you living honest and responsible lives. The rule is real. It's already taking effect. And the absolute best thing you can do is exactly what you did today. Learn about it. Now I want to speak to you heart to heart for just a moment because I know some of you watching this right now are carrying a quiet worry. Maybe you're thinking about your savings account and wondering if it's really safe. Maybe you're thinking about that transfer you made last month to help your grandkids and wondering if it raised any flags. Maybe you're just tired of feeling like every time you turn around, something else is changing, something else requires your attention, and something else is threatening the peace and security you've spent decades trying to build. I hear you, I really do. And I want to say something to you that I hope sticks with you long after this video ends. You are not behind. You're not too old to understand this. You are not powerless in the face of these changes. In fact, the moment you pressed play on this video, you took control. You decided to be informed, you decided to show up for yourself. And that is one of the bravest and smartest things a person can do. So here's what I want you to do starting today. First, take a look at your bank statements. Not to panic, just to get familiar. Know what's coming in, know what's going out. Keep it simple. Even a quick 5-minute review once a week can make a world of difference. You don't need to be a financial expert. You just need to be aware. And now you are. Second, if you make regular transfers to a family member, to another account, to a savings fund, jot them down somewhere. A little notebook on your kitchen counter works perfectly. Write the date, the amount, and what it was for. But that's it. It takes 30 seconds, and it gives you a paper trail that protects you completely. Think of it like keeping your receipts, something you probably already know how to do better than most people. Third, don't be afraid to talk to your bank. I know that can feel intimidating sometimes. Banks have a way of making everything sound more complicated than it needs to be. But remember, they work for you. You are the customer. You have every right to walk in or call up and say, I want to understand how this new reporting rule affects my account. Any good banker will be happy to walk you through it. And if they're not helpful, that's information too. It might be time to find a bank that treats you with the respect you deserve. Fourth, and this one is close to my heart, please talk to the people you trust. Your children, your grandchildren, a close friend, your pastor, your doctor, whoever it is in your life that you lean on. Share what you learned today because I guarantee you there are people in your circle who have no idea this rule exists. And by sharing this information, you're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting them too. That's a beautiful thing. Now, before I let you go, I want to remind you of something we talked about earlier in the video. This new rule, as unfamiliar as it feels, also comes with a silver lining. Enhanced monitoring means a stronger safety net against fraud. And seniors, wonderful, trusting, generous people that you are unfortunately the #1 target for financial scammers. So while part of this rule feels like an intrusion, another part of it is actually standing guard over your money. And I want you to hold on to that. Let it give you a little comfort because you deserve comfort. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve to feel informed. And you deserve to enjoy the retirement years you worked so hard to reach without fear, without confusion, and without anyone taking advantage of you. And that is exactly why this channel exists. That is exactly why I show up here every single week for you, to be that trusted friend who translates the complicated stuff into plain English. To make sure you never feel left behind or left out when it comes to your own money and your own life. So, if today's video helped you even just a little, would you do me one small favor? Hit that thumbs up button right now. It truly helps this channel reach more seniors who need this information just as much as you did today. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Just tap that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Because every single week we're here with more information, more tips, and more conversations just like this one. And if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. I read every single one. This is a community. And in this community, nobody gets left behind. Thank you so much for being here today, friends. Take good care of yourselves. Take good care of each other. And I will see you in the next